Hey students and parents, this week for science, we're going to be talking about humans and their impact on the ecosystem. So humans interacting with ecosystems all across the world. We have what's called a trade-off. Humans have both positive and negative impacts on the ecosystems that they're around. And the human population continues to increase. So with the increased population, there's increased demand for the resources in the areas that the humans live. So the Earth has finite resources. That means there's only so much, and eventually they could run out. And there's many interrelationships between humans and everything else in the ecosystems on Earth. The more humans there are, the more resources they need, the more resources that they use. And humans are depleting some of these resources. And human impacts, such as pollution, can have a negative effect on those resources that everybody needs. So how do humans adversely affect the ecosystems on Earth? Population growth. Too many people, and they're using limited resources. Overconsumption. People in industrialized societies tend to use more resources than those of other nations. And believe it or not, advancing technology. Sometimes technology is introduced and used without knowing the full impact of everything else in the environment and ecosystems around it. Another adverse impact of humans is direct harvesting. This causes a large loss to the rainforests that are very important to the rest of the Earth. Pollution. This affects the land, the air, and the water of everyone around them. And atmospheric changes. With technology and pollution, this can create a lot of greenhouse gases that can contribute to global warming and other negative effects to the Earth. Acid rain caused by pollution can have a very negative impact on the environment. Acid rain is caused by sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide that are put into the atmosphere. When these go up in the air, they combine with water vapor and fall back down to Earth, polluting the land and everything around it. So what are some of the problems associated with acid rain? Streams and lakes become more acidic, and this affects everything that's living in the water, and it can damage forests and plants and even deteriorate buildings. So what can be done to stop this? If we're using coal, we can make sure it is low sulfur. That way less sulfur is put into the atmosphere. We can also try to use more green or renewable energy, such as solar or wind. Another major thing that happens as a result of human behavior is global warming. The burning of fossil fuels increases the carbon dioxide in the air. This traps heat from the sun in the Earth's atmosphere and makes the Earth warmer than it's supposed to be. This is a result of using fossil fuels like coal and oil. And what are the consequences of global warming? Ice melts and the sea levels go up. This can cause flooding and damage anybody who's living along the coast. It can also lead to changed rain patterns, either getting a lot of rain in some areas and not enough in other areas. With the increased moisture in some areas, this can lead to insect growth, and that can lead to the spread of a disease, which is really bad for humans. So what can be done about global warming to reduce it and even eliminate it? We can decrease our use of fossil fuels for energy and use alternative renewable sources of energy, again, like wind and solar. And as people, we can also do our part as well. Carpooling, taking public transit to work instead of a car. Another adverse effect that humans have on ecosystems and the environment is ozone depletion. And ozone is related to the oxygen we breathe, but it's not the same type. Ozone in the atmosphere decreases the amount of solar radiation that can enter the Earth. If it's there, it acts as a protective shield toward the Earth. If it's not there, more heat is let in, and that leads to global warming. So what causes the ozone to deplete? Many aerosol cans, such as hairspray or bug spray, have what's called CFCs in it. Also, refrigerators and refrigerating systems have this chemical in there. Not only does it deplete the ozone, it can also lead to skin cancer and cataracts in your eyes. If we decrease the use of these CFCs, we can go a long way into reducing the ozone that disappears from the atmosphere when they're used. So we talked about the ways humans impact the ecosystems around them, as well as the Earth as a whole. We talked about the negative things that can happen as a result of human behavior, and we talked about some solutions that we can do to help the environment. I'll be posting these slides as well as some practice activities for you to work on. If you want me to post more, just let me know and I can do that in Schoology. And if you'd like to Zoom over this lesson, just click on the link.